Let's review editing content on the Grace Church website. I'm going to go over working with your content, setting heading styles, bold, italics, other stuff that you might be familiar with from a word processor like Microsoft Word. And then also we'll look at adding links to other pages or possibly other websites, and then adding PDF files, MP3 files, and images. Oh, and as well, I'll show you how to add a map to your page if that would be helpful. So I've created just a blank page here called test page. And let's get into the administrator and look at how to edit that. So we'll go to www.gracechurchviewpage.org/wp-admin. Whoops, I was logged in there already. Normally you'll see this screen, and you'll just log in with the username and password that was assigned to you. And then go to Pages. That will list the pages that you have capabilities of editing. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Edit link under Test Page. And here's our blank page. I've got some content over here on another screen, which I'm just going to copy and paste right in here. Okay, so the first thing to note up here, Test Page, that's the title of the page, and it's also normally going to correspond to the link of the page, the URL, and also we'll have a menu entry that lines up with that too. So please don't change that. That stuff can be changed, but it needs to be changed in several places. So if you want that changed, let Darlene or I know, and what you'd like that changed to, and we can talk about that. So let's first thing we want to do here, I'm going to set a style. Whoops, go back to the visual editor here. I'm going to set a style for this subheading. I'm going to set it to heading 2, because again, remember, this test page actually appears here, and that's always going to be heading 1. So any subheadings that you put in here, do heading 2. If you've got anything else that goes underneath there as another heading, there's heading 3, etc. And then, again, this is just going to be a lot like Microsoft Word. I'm going to highlight this text. I want to make this bold. I'll highlight this one here. We'll make this italics, or this italics, making this bold. Did that backwards. You'll notice these paragraphs here have the default paragraph style. That's good. We'll just leave that as is. Okay, so there's some content. Now let's look at adding a link. So this was from My Utmost. Let's just say myutmost.org, and then I've highlighted that text there, and I'm going to click on this little icon, Insert Edit Link. Okay, and then we just put in the URL. You've got to remember the HTTP there. And it's a good idea to always put a title too. And then if it's an external website, you can click this to have it open in a new window. Then our website will remain open in a window as well, so people don't have to navigate away from our website necessarily. Okay, so there's that link. Let's look at adding a PDF file. To do that, we'll click this little Add Media icon and select Files. Let's see. Here's an old bulletin. Okay, we can put the title in there as well. For the link URL, you want to make sure click this file URL, so it's actually going to the file itself. And then we'll go insert into post. Okay, there's that, and I'll show you when we go to preview our page how this will put a little PDF icon next to it so people know that they're clicking on a PDF and not a regular page. Let's take a look at adding an MP3. You can do the same thing, that same icon. Select files, put our MP3 there, click file URL. Again, this stuff is optional. It's a good idea to fill that in. It helps search engines determine what the content is, as well as if somebody's running the mouse over something, this title would pop up. Okay, and again, that looks like a normal link, but when we go to preview this, that's going to turn into something special. Okay, let's take a look at adding an image. I'll go add an image, this icon. Let me select one. I'm going to take this one. Okay, so we can see from the dimensions here, it's 300 by about 450. So that would take up, about this much on the page. And what we really want to do, again, let's click File URL. Make sure this Open in Lightbox is set to Yes. And then I'm going to go ahead and set the size to thumbnail. So this will put a small image on the page, but when somebody clicks on it, it'll show a lightbox overlay of the full image. It's kind of neat. So let's insert that into the post. Okay. And then last thing before we preview, let's try a map. I'm going to go down here and click New Map. Let's call it Matt's Office. And add the location. Whoops. I think that should work. Great. Found the location. Click Save. And we're all set. So now, if I hover over Matt's office, I can go Insert into Post. Puts that special little tag there, and then that'll turn into a map once we look at this. So now what I'm going to do is click Submit Revision. Now by default, what this is going to do is it's going to send an email to Darlene and myself. We're currently the two people who can approve revisions so they can go up on the website. Unfortunately, the only way to preview right now is by submitting the revision. So if you're just kind of testing this out and playing around with this, go ahead and uncheck us so we don't get a notification that you want to publish something. But normally, you can leave us checked, you submit a revision, you take a look at it in the preview. If you need to make some changes, normally you'd kind of be making them all right there, so it's okay to send us a few messages that something's ready for posting. We'll normally wait maybe an hour or so before we would take a look at something to launch it. So I'm going to go ahead and submit the revision. Okay, and then I'm going to go to View It in Revisions Manager. And then scrolling down to the bottom here, I will see our revisions. This is the newest one. So I'm going to preview that. Just going to preview it in a new tab. Okay, so here's our page. You'll notice we've got our PDF here, which has that special icon there so people know that it's a PDF. Our MP3 has turned into a little player. And we also have a link that people can download the MP3 and save it on their computer. And then here's our little thumbnail image. When we click on that, it's going to open up the larger size. And then here's our map. So we can click on that, get directions. This would be great if you have an event or yeah, pretty much anything where a map would be useful. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you have any problems, certainly with if anything's broken or if anything's confusing, we definitely want to know about it. So let us know. Thanks.